right. Here we continue our game. Let me update you. This is part two of the extra inning game, game two of a three-game series of the 1979 New York Mets replay. These are the games that started April 20th, 21st, and 22nd. This is the Saturday night game, and it's the Mets at Phillies. The score is tied at 2. We are in the top of the 10th. There's 2 outs. Mets are bringing up a pinch hitter for the pitcher. It's going to be Gil Flores. Gil Flores batted 186 versus lefties. Tug McGraw's in there for the Phillies. And there's 2 outs, and here's the pitch from Tug McGraw. The score is tied at 2 in the top of the 10th. That's wheelhouse. Now, he has no wheelhouse versus lefties. 1-25 is a single. And that's a 57, so that's out of range. And that's going to be a fly ball lifted to shallow right field. Bake McBride in right makes the catch for out number 3. So 3 up, 3 down for the Mets here in the top of the 10th. New pitcher for the Mets is going to be Skip Lockwood. Skip Lockwood is going to be the new pitcher for the Mets. We had some issues with streaming. I don't know exactly what they were. You should be able, there you go. I think that's a little bit better, a little bit less glare. Camera's a little bit close. Camera's a little bit close, and you know what? Because of that, I'm going to just change this up a little bit right here. There you go. Stadium's going to be to the right. So Skip Lockwood is on the mound for the Mets. He's replacing Dale Murray, who went a couple of innings, effective couple of innings. And Lockwood is going to be batting in that 8th spot. Let's put him in there, 8th spot where Gil Flores just batted. So Skip Lockwood. Now Skip Lockwood had an excellent 79 season. In 42 innings, 27 games, he was 2-5, but his ERA was 1.49, so he was extremely effective for the Mets. He's going to be facing Pete Rose, batting from the left side against the right-handed throwing Lockwood. That's a 7, and that's a tough 36 versus a righty. Tough 36 is going to be a single, so Rose singles. And he's on at first, and he may go. Let's see what happens here. 7, it's a 4 steal, so he does not go. Greg Luzinski now. Greg Luzinski's 1 for 4. That's a 7 tough. A tough 39. Tough 39 is going to be a strikeout. Luzinski down on strikes. 1 away. That's an 8. A tough 98. It's going to be a fly ball lifted to left. Fly ball lifted to left, and Schmidt flies out. And Pete Rose still at first. 2 outs. Gary Maddox against Skip Lockwood. That's in play. In play 85. That's going to be a fly ball lifted to left. And left fielder puts it away. So we go to the top of the 11th inning now in a 2-2 game. The Mets are in the midst of a 9-game losing streak, so they definitely don't want to lose this one. And that's a 7, so that's going to be in play against, you know what, Tug McGraw. This is his 3rd inning. We're going to pull Tug on this just because I don't know that Tug McGraw really pitched. He's kind of a short guy, short-term guy. And Reed, we're going to bring in a guy named Reed here. Ron Reed is going to come in. So he's going to be replacing McGraw, even though McGraw is going to be due up. Probably due up next inning. It is what it is. Not going to worry about it right now. But McGraw, offense, McGraw on 9. He was in there. And now replacing McGraw is going to be Rick Reed. Offensive substitute, yes. All right, so Rick Reed is in the ball game. Rolled a 7. That's going to be in play. Kelvin Chapman, a 29, an in play 29. That's out of range. in the out area. Popped up, left side. Frank Taveras. That's 3. That's defense. Defense 28. We're going to have to pull a card for that, see what happens. It's error shortstop. 28. Let's look at what our shortstop is. Taveras is not a great shortstop. It's Boa, right? Boa. Boa is a great shortstop. Boa is but not good range, but he has good, few errors committed. So that's a 5. So he's a 5. We rolled a 28. Let's look. 5. 28. That's an out range. Kind of an out. Shortstop is going to be a ground ball. Potential double play, but no double play. Nobody's on. 6-3 for out number 2. Taveras grounds out. Now Taveras reached base 3 times today, but not in this case. Steve Henderson, who's 0 for 4, and that's a 9. That's in play. An in play 64 is going to be a pop up to the right side. Pete Rose calls for it, and that's going to be we use the modifier there from Sideline Strategies for pop-ups and line drives. So we go to the bottom of the 11th, Skip Lockwood against Manny Trio. And that's a 12, that's defense. A 89 defense, that's going to be an out no matter what. It's out of range all the way down. So that's going to be an out. Third baseman, Hebner, guns it to first and throws out Manny Trio for out number 1 here in the bottom of the 11th. Bob Boone, that's an 8. That's a tough 20. That's a strikeout. Boone, curveball gets him. Looked mystified. And now it's Rick Reed, the pitcher. Rick Reed, the pitcher, and we're going to let Rick Reed bat in what could potentially go on for a while. A game that could potentially go on for a while. So Rick Reed, the pitcher, let's see what he is. He's a 13 batter. So that means a 13 batter pitcher card, which I haven't used very much. There's one. So Rick Reed is going to bat here. Rick Reed bats right-handed, and that's a 9. Tough, a tough 58. Tough 58's a strikeout. Reed down on strikes. It's going to be Ron Reed pitching to Richie Hebner, top of the 12th inning. It's a 7. That's in play. And in play 21 is a line drive base hit. Richie Hebner singles. So Hebner's on at first. Not much of a base stealer. Could go on a 1-1, but no, it does not. Lee Mazzilli, the batter. That's a 3 defense. A defense 56 on the second baseman. Let's look at what Trio's number. Error on second baseman. Potential error. Let's look at Trio's number. He's a 4 error. And where's our, what do we do with our other card? I think it just vanished somewhere. Must have picked it up. Oh, there it is. Okay. 4 error. And that's 1-20, so it's going to be an out. Let's see what kind of out it is with a runner on first. It was to second base, so it's an out. It's a ground ball, fielder's choice. So 4-6, Trio flips the Boa back to first, not in time. So Mazzilli is going to be on at first, and Mazzilli has good speed. So fielder's choice, 4-6. That's going to be a force out. We're going to see if Mazzilli goes. Mazzilli goes on a 6, I believe, and we just rolled a 7. Double check that. No, he goes on a 5. So Willie Montanez, this is going to be a 7. It's an in play. We're going to use that, so we don't have to keep rolling so many times. 77, in play 77. That's going to be a fly ball lifted to center. It's going to be out number 2, Maddox under it. And Mazzilli returns to first. Okay, so we got 2 outs. Mazzilli on at first. John Stearns, who didn't start the game, he's the Mets' everyday catcher. He replaced Hodges, who was filling in late in the game. Here's the pitch to Stearns. That's a 5. That's patient. A patient 29. A patient 29. It's going to be a base on balls. So the go-ahead run is now pushed to second base. Mazzilli takes his lead off second. John Stearns is at first. Rick Reed, the pitcher, to Joel Youngblood. Joel Youngblood hit a two-run homer in the seventh, tying the game at 2 apiece. And that's a wheelhouse for Youngblood. 1-22, and that ball's out of here. And that's a 91, so that's not going to happen. 91 is a line drive caught by Larry Boa. And that ends the inning. So the Mets leave 2 here in the top of the 12th. And it's a 2-2 ball game. 2-2 ball game. Actually, I said I was doing this a little bit different because some of our cards were getting cut off. There we go. That's better. And so Skip Lockwood now. Let's take a quick peek at when Lockwood came in here. Lockwood came, he's pitched 2 innings already. Gonna have to pull Lockwood. And yeah, Lockwood doesn't go 2 innings very often, so we're gonna need a new pitcher. And let's take a look at what goes on here. We have a lefty coming up. We have Jesse Orosco, who started pitching in the last couple of games. We've had Jesse Orosco in the games for the Mets, and he's a lefty that's going to be with the Mets all the way into the '86 World Series. So 6 years from now, the Mets will be in the World Series. So despite their horrid 1979 season and this losing streak, this 9 games in a row, the Mets are going to improve. So Jesse Orosco is going to come in there for Skip Lockwood. We're going to have to add him because I don't think it's the first time he pitches. Orozco with an S rather than, all right, Orozco, lefty. All right, bats left, throws left. Yes, he's there. And let's just check something out quickly. Our last batter was Stearns and then Youngblood. So and we can't pull a. Wow. You know what? Let me see what Beauclair can play. We're gonna have to pull a double switch here. We're gonna undo this real quick. Undo that. I'm gonna bring in Orozco, but he's not gonna be in that batting order. We're gonna have to pull a double switch. Let's see. Bruce Beauclair played in this game. Let's see what kind of. He can play first base. You know what? He's going to replace Montanez at first base. So it's going to lead off the next inning. So we're going to replace Montanez at first base with Beauclair. We're going to have to pull a double switch. This is our second double switch. I'm not a big fan of the double switch, although I love it. Not a big fan of doing all the steps. Includes offensive sub. Don't know what that means. Yes, he's going to be the offensive sub. No. Not going to. But now Beauclair is going to bat in the 8th spot. Okay, so Beauclair's in the. Oh, no, he's not still on the 8th spot. Let's do that again. Beauclair, offense. Bruce Beauclair, 8th spot. Beauclair. Okay, Bruce Beauclair's in the 8th spot. And now Orozco, who just came in, is going to be in the 5th spot. 5th spot, and you're going to have Jesse Orozco, who just came in. There we go. Okay, so Beauclair's going to be leading it off. And it's going to be Bake McBride, lefty versus lefty. Here's the pitch. And that's a 7. That's patient. A patient 76. And that's going to be 76. That's going to be the left side. That's going to be an outrange. Fly ball, center field. Mazzilli. He puts it away. 1 down. Larry Boa next. That's a 6. That's patient. That's a patient 80 against a lefty. That's a ground ball short. Taveras throws him out. 2 away. And now it's Pete Rose trying to tidy this up. Pete Rose, 4, tough. A tough 56. Tough 56 is in the out range. And that's going to be a ground ball to second. Chapman flips to first. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the top of the 13th. Wow, my battery's going to run out of my phone's going to run out of battery again. So it's Ron Reed still in there. Ron Reed is going to face Bruce Beauclair, the lefty, playing first base now. Here's the pitch from Reed. Top of the 13th inning, excuse me. It's a 2-2 tie here at Veterans Stadium. That's a 5. That's patient. Beauclair, 82 patient against a righty. That's going to be a pop-up to second base. Trio calls for it and makes the catch. Use the modifier there. You can get that at Sideline Strategies Delphi. And Kelvin Chapman is 0 for 2. That's a 9 in play. 71, that's going to be an easy out. 71 is a fly ball center field. 2 away, and now it's Frankie Taveras, who's 2 for 4 on the day. This is his Mets debut, 9. He was acquired from Pittsburgh for Tim Foley. And that's a 9 in play, 15. And that's going to be a base hit for Taveras. And Taveras is not going to be running. He's been thrown out 3 times today. Bob Boone is his nemesis, and Bob Boone is not having it. So Frank Taveras is going to sit tight. And that's a 9 in play. And that's a 14. An in play 14. It's going to be a base hit. Steve Henderson lines it. Sharp liner. Drops in front of the left fielder, Luzinski. Runner on first advances 1 base unless there's 2 outs and he's 6 or more. And Frank Taveras is 6 or more, so he's going to move to third. Taveras hustles to third. First and third now, so the Mets are threatening. Let's double check that Taveras is he's an 8 runner, so he's a real good base runner. Not necessarily speed, but although he has good speed. Richie Hebner, left-handed batting third baseman for the Mets. And here's the pitch. That's a 9 in play. And that's a 44. An in play 44 is in the out range. And that's going to be a pop-up. And that's going to be out number 3. Boa calling for it. Makes the catch. Mets leave 2. We go to the bottom of the 13th inning. And it's going to be Luzinski. And Luzinski, Schmidt, and Maddox, and they're going to face Orozco. And that's a 5. That's patient. A patient 31 against a lefty is going to be a base on ball, so Luzinski is on with a walk. Mike Schmidt, not bunting. That's a 10. That's wheelhouse. That ball's a deep drive to left field. Back goes Henderson to the track, to the wall. It's out of here. Goodbye. Game-winning hit. Home run. Mike Schmidt took it yard. The 10, put it in his wheelhouse, and he launched it 53 against a lefty. Oh no, it's out of range. Lucky we double-checked. No. A 53 is going to be a double. And Luzinski, let's see. It says double opposite field, shot, all runners score, game is over. Mike Schmidt's double, what looked like to be a home run, turns out to be a double, but Luzinski's going to score on that double, and the game is over. Mets lose it by a score of 3-2, and that's a 10-game losing streak for the Mets. And Jesse Orozco is going to be saddled with the loss, and the win is going to go to Ron Reed. And I'll run by the data here. The line score, if I can find it. That's weird. We can't even find the line score. It gets cut off. Just because it went so long. I don't know where the line score is. Can't find it. Anyway, it's a 3-2 ball game. Let's see. Let me see if I can find the line score. So I'm going to back out of here. And the line score is going to be the Mets 2 runs, 10 hits, no errors, 7 left on base. The Phillies 3 runs, 10 hits, 1 error, 11 left on base. Had some issues with the streaming for this, so I had to kind of do a part 2. And great game, goes 13 innings. Bottom of the 13th, the Phillies come out ahead when Mike Schmidt goes opposite field for a double, and Luzinski, who's not fleet of foot, manages to get around third and score the game-winning hit, or the game-winning run, and Schmidt with the game-winning hit, and that's all she wrote. Final score of Game 2, and Phil's 3, Mets 2. This extends the Mets losing streak to 10 games. So in actuality, they lost the first 2 games, and then tomorrow, which is the next game I'm going to play, they win. So let's see if we can, if history